So I originally had not planned on making a YouTube video so soon after getting relatively better from my recent car crash. More on that in a later video. But in my usual YouTube nightly perusing, thanks to the recommendations section, I stumbled upon very fascinating videos, and I was compelled to click on a video by Topfacts EN about airline incidents, just because I find the topic very fascinating and such. But after reading through the comments section, people were commenting a lot of really strange things about this video, and the more I dug into this, the more things got even weirder. And the only thing I can possibly think of is they must have made this video using AI. Let's dive into this a little more. So if you start in the comments section of this video, which is titled, "This plane suddenly vanished 35 years ago but now lands with 92 skeletons," more on that story later, the first thing that really clued me in on this was, wait, 2 passengers were still in a coma after 50 years? You just glaze over that? What? And then things like, I need more information about the 92 skeletons. How was the plane able to land? Or, so where are the skeletons? And many, many other comments related to this particular fact that they claimed existed in this video. And what I ended up finding out was someone commented that this skeleton story came out when it was released in a newspaper. It was a tabloid of a spoof paper. It's a 100% made-up story because it was on a web comic. It was a web series. It's just all sorts of strange things like that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why would a reputable YouTube channel with 73.5 thousand subscribers, almost 2 million views on this video, publish a false fact? And that's where I started investigating things. Stuff just started getting fishier and fishier. September 5th, 2023. That's when this video was published. That's around the time AI started coming onto the scene with regards to content creation. Other things that really clued me in that this might be an AI video. The narration. People were commenting on the narration. 21 Saint Century. Did he mean 21st century? Voiceover by computer, and calling a Boeing 737 instead of 737. Just little things throughout the video that made you sit and wonder. But this story, the main story of the clickbaity video, is worth a listen.
Like JL50. A rescue operation to search for a crashed plane has begun in West Bengal. However, instead of the desired wreckage, the remains of another flight that disappeared without a trace 35 years ago were discovered. This resolved one of the aviation world's oldest mysteries that had puzzled the entire world for decades. The plane that vanished without a trace, Flight JL50, was found with a horrifying cargo. Inside it were the remains of 92 passengers' skeletons, and incredibly, 2 bodies were still in a coma. This shocking evidence indicates that the flight perished as a result of being hijacked by inexperienced hijackers. They were unable to control the plane, which led to its crash and the death of all passengers.
Little pro tip, if you use the greater than less than symbols while scrolling through a YouTube video, you can go frame by frame. But let's just go back here to, was it 7:34 in the video is when it started. But if we go back to some of this stock plane footage that they used, because it's clear they weren't using any specific related footage for the plane. Like, look at it, Cathay Pacific Cargo. Bengal's not in the Pacific. And then if you continue to look at some of this footage, you'll see Some of the clips are from, like, movies. The actual hoax story this whole thing was based off of was a Pan American flight, not a Bengal flight, which means that the people who made up this story changed the story several times. And in fact, I believe another video talked about this that I saw, that this whole falsified information was just a fake news story that was spoofed and republished multiple times. And even right here, and right here, even right here, you don't see what newspaper published this at all. And they change the story every time that they republish this. Like 92 skeletons the first time. Before that, it was all the passengers were still alive, just time traveled or something. And then, like, it's just silly. Like, what the heck? They're presenting this as factual information. And if you continue to look through this footage, you'll see some other strange stuff. Like, obviously these aren't at all the same plane. Like, what the heck? It's not even the same model of plane throughout the whole time they're telling this story. And that image looks AI generated. I can't quite put my finger on what makes it AI generated, but there's just... it doesn't quite look right. They also state that 92 passengers' skeletons were found, and that incredibly 2 passengers survived in a coma. But then later in the video they state that all the passengers were killed. Like, what kind of logical inconsistency is this?
Still in a coma. This shocking evidence indicates that the flight perished as a result of being hijacked by inexperienced hijackers.
And there's no supporting claims for that.
Were unable to control the plane, which led to its crash and the death of all passengers.
Right there, death of all passengers, right after they had stated that 2 survived in a coma. What? Huh? 2 passengers survived in a coma. What kind of contradicting information is this? That makes no sense. And then some of the medical people in the comments were reporting, okay, there's no way people can survive in a coma for 35 years without food or water. There needs to be some sort of sustenance to keep them alive. That just got... this is just weird. And the more I look into this so-called facts video, the more weird stuff I come across. So I found an article on APF or AFP Fact Checker about this missing plane reappeared decades later myth. Apparently this thing has been in circulation for quite some time, and many other channels and many other news articles have claimed to post this, changing the story just slightly every single time. As you'll recall, our video claimed that it landed after 35 years. This article or post from Unknown Facts on Facebook claimed it landed after 37 years. And our video claimed it was Flight JL50. This article says most of the articles claim it was Pan Am Flight 914. There's all sorts of other little weird things about this story like this, and the whole thing is just a big hoax. It's just ridiculous. It was published in the Weekly World News. That was published between 1979 and 2007. Relaunched in 2009. This whole news tabloid was just known for publishing weird stories like this that just seemed too good to be true. Look, even Brightside published a viral video of it in 2019. Like, what? It's just like, what? Why? Why are we spreading this myth around constantly? What's ridiculous is this article goes into depth saying that they had two different men as eyewitnesses to the event, but they just used two different photos and claimed it was the same guy. Like, that doesn't make much sense. The airline picture, the picture of the plane itself, is a stock photo from 1935, so it wasn't even a plane in the 50s that was... It's just, the more you look at this, it was like, what? No credible news reports to support the claim. No mention of the flight in the U.S. Department of Transportation's records of investigations. That's the other funny thing. So, the original story states that it was an American flight from New York to Miami. This video that we saw, this video claims that it was a Bengal flight. People, before you just go assuming all these facts are real and spreading the news, check your sources. Check the story. There's a lot of weird stuff that gets published as totally legit news. And if you look into it enough, it's all just made up. And if you scroll all the way back through some of this footage, all the way back to when they first show the headline paper, or the dramatic fade-in newspaper clipping, you notice some really funny things here. First off, there's this text in the corner that says, "Type here any way you want." First off, they spelled want wrong. Secondly, that is generic placeholder text. That's not a legit news article. They fabricated this whole dramatic scene, so to speak. Secondly, if you read the actual article content, section 1.10.33 of De Finibus Bonorum et Malorum by Cicero in 45 BC, that has nothing to do with the video itself. This is about an airplane crash. What the heck is Cicero doing in a video about plane crashes? In addition, the text of the article itself is really weird. Why do we use it? It is a long-established fact that a reader will be distracted by a readable content of a page when looking at its layout. So they're trying to distract us? The point of using lorem ipsum, what does that mean? All the facts, ipsum generator. In publishing a graphic design, lorem ipsum is a placeholder text commonly used to demonstrate the visual form of a document. Oh, this is rich. Or typeface without relying on a meaningful content. Oh, the irony. May be used as placeholder before the final copy is available. Also used to temporarily replace text in a process called greeking, which allows designers to consider the form of a web page or publication without meaning of the text influencing the design. So this is all placeholder text, and it's an article about using placeholder text. Oh, that's rich. What the heck? And then the even weirder thing is, if you look up this section 1.10.33 of this publication by Cicero, it has nothing to do with the video whatsoever. It's apparently a quote from his of Cicero's The Extremes of Good and Evil, about rejecting, disliking, avoiding pleasure, or consequences that are extremely painful or something. What's really weird about me Googling this specific result is that it came up on the most random of websites. First off, we have the Northern Lights Electric Incorporated. Why would Northern Lights Electric Incorporated be posting about Cicero? About the extremes of good and evil? That has nothing to do with what their company is about, right? It's on their news blog, and it's posted by some random user named Admin in 2020. It's not on April Fool's, so it's not a practical joke. Is this just something they genuinely thought would be interesting? I need to look more about this site. Okay, so this is an electric company in California, huh? Curious. Very curious. The further I look at this, the stranger it gets. Okay, it's a lighting company in the Bay Area. But what's weird about that is that quote came up on a random post in uncategorized in their news blog. What's even weirder is that this site, the Borough of Manhattan Community College in New York, has another uncategorized post of this same exact quote, both in Latin and the translation. But why is it uncategorized? Why? Okay, that was part of a full article, it looks like. So why is that random full article translated there in part of their uncategorized? Fascinating. Now, obviously it makes more sense for an education college or something to post something like this because, you know, research and education and history and all that. But what's really weird is it starts showing up on all these other weird pages, like Canine and Pets Dog Training? What on earth does this have to do with dog training? I am genuinely baffled. Something tells me these aren't connected or related in any way. Aside from the fact that this video, they wanted to use AI filler text for the entirety of this video, thereby, and dubious stories from just silly sources which they didn't fully cite. There are some facts, parts of this video that are facts, like the story of DB Cooper. That's very well documented, apparently. I saw another video on that earlier before clicking on this video. But what on earth? It's just, the whole thing is suspicious from head to toe, and it makes no sense. And this makes me worried that there's a lot of channels out there on YouTube like this that could be just pumping out content that's AI generated without truly checking to see if there's any factual evidence behind their so-called facts. Let's check out the channel itself. What else? What else do they talk about? Oh. The channel is brand new. It joined in June 20 of 2023. That's even more suspicious. Because that implies that they were using AI content to start. Okay, yeah. This whole channel looks pretty suspicious. A lot of clickbaity titles, possibly AI-generated thumbnails, shocking and disturbing content. Yeah, okay. They only have 3 community posts? 3. And notice there's very little comments on them. Huh. And all these comments seem to say the same thing. Wild. I would say report this channel. There is some misinformation being spread here. There are misleading facts and information without sources being cited. Yeah, this is problematic. Definitely do something about it. This is what AI generated content will devolve to if we aren't careful. I'll see you guys in the next video.